Hello, everyone. It's Creepy and Tina. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a splendid day.
Yes.
And that you are in the best of health.
Yes, with health being most important in this day and age. So, honey, what are we going to do today? We're going to give the people what they need?
We're going to talk about some really cool stuff right now today.
So, questions to honestly ask yourself when you're considering expat life. With a little, insight from us. We've been here almost 2 years.
Plus a little twist.
So, we get a lot of people asking, what's an expat? What's an expatriate? What does that mean? So, we're going to give you the definition.
Okay,
all right, because we did get that on our live. Mm-hmm. So the answer is an expatriate is considered anyone living outside of their native country, meaning the country where they were born and or brought up or raised in. So that's what an expatriate is.
That's what that means.
Mm-hmm. So we are expats because we were born and raised in the United States of America, and we are now living in the Dominican Republic, Santiago. Right. To be exact. So for everybody that keeps asking us, hey, do you live there? We live here.
Of course, we live here.
So the first question to honestly ask yourself and find the answer to is, where do you want to move to? And I always say to you, it doesn't have to be a one place answer. It could be multiple. Right. But research safety, healthcare, cost of living, visa requirements, and most importantly, does it fit into your lifestyle?
Right. And it's all about lifestyle. Some people say, well, I want to go to Costa Rica. Great. Some people say, well, I want to go to the Philippines. Great. Go there. Some people say, no, I want to go to Panama. Good. Go there. But you better make sure.
You live there.
You better make sure. And I would tell everybody.
Yeah.
You always should go and visit first.
Yes.
And check it out first before you have all your stuff and all your stuff shipped. And you get there 2 weeks later, man, what did we do? This is one of the worst decisions I ever made.
Which people do.
Happens all the time. Mm-hmm. All that money you spent, waiting for your ship to come in, to bring your stuff. You got a place, come to find out somebody down the street from you just got shot. This is happening, that's happening, and you in a bad spot, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right, and then you end up wasting money, time, and everything in between. So remember, where do you want to move to is essential to getting it started.
Right.
The second question, what is motivating you to go abroad? Is it a better lifestyle, financial growth, the cost of living, the weather? What is it that's motivating you? It can't be just because you saw some people on a video or you went on a vacation and you had a good time for 5 days. Like, it's got to be something a little bit more. So what is really motivating you to go abroad?
Well, what really motivated me is highway robbery in the United States.
You ain't lying.
Number one, health insurance, which would drain your pockets dry as the Sahara Desert at 12 noon.
So tell me, when you read that letter that the union sent you, telling you that you were going to have to pay $900 a month to have you and I under just basic medical care, no vision, no dental, just basic medical. I bet did that motivate?
And
I know you knew where you
wanted. And I said like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, hasta la vista, baby. I got on the first thing smoking.
Yes. Better lifestyle, financial growth, all that. So yes, that has to be something that's kind of motivating you. Look at your motivation. Next question. Can you communicate in the local language? I know a lot of people think they can fake it till they make it. Will it be easy to navigate without it where you're choosing to live? Because it may not be here, it might be somewhere else. Can you and do you want to invest the time into learning the language that's native to where you're considering moving and becoming an expatriate in?
Right. And I went through that. I learned a few words I still kind of remember. Aquí.
Yeah. He's talking because he was in Uber and they were like,
Uber.
Where? Donde? You knew when they were asking you donde, because you were like, What's he saying? I go, he wants to know where you're going.
Yeah, it's
How
always,
to get there.
it's always good to know where you're going, because sometimes your Uber, sometimes his Google or whatever the map thing, it just crashes.
Yeah, it does.
And so when it goes out, that's when you got to kick in, and you got to be able to translate to him or show him or communicate some kind of way to let him know where you want to go.
I mean, not just that. You walk into a place of business, you need maybe a utility turned on. You're at the bank. You're at the grocery store. There's all kinds of situations that I could tell you where you just are going to be at a loss. And then what are you going to do? You're not going to get things done? No. You're going to use your Google Translate. That may get you somewhat further than what you were. But to even pronunciate, from Google Translate, because some people, what are you going to do if they can't read?
Right.
You've had that where you've handed them the phone and they're like, I don't know. And so you have to have some kind of enunciation skill to be able to at least say the words so that they can kind of understand what you're trying to ask them. So yes, can you communicate in the local language? People have asked, specifically in the DR,
Right.
Can you move there without learning the language? My answer is emphatically no. No. You need to learn at least the basics. If I'm telling you that I need to make a left, do you know how to tell me how to make a left? If I'm asking you, está a la derecha, and you can't even tell me if it's on the right, we got an issue. So, yeah, you need to know at least the basics. Next, can you purchase international insurance easily and without large costs? What plans are available there? How reliable are these said companies? How are doctors and hospitals rated?
So basically,
His other subject that he loves, cost of living, and you love health insurance.
Cost of living and health insurance, it's always gonna be my pet peeve, okay? Because like I know, you guys that still live in the United States, those pills you have to get and your copays and your medical plan is completely, unequivocally ridiculous.
They are high. And when you
Ridiculous.
see the difference, but that's something that, like I said, so that's questions you really have to ask yourself and look into, because when you look at the difference in pharmaceutical prices, it will blow your mind. To this day, I'm still like, why? Why do we have to pay so much in the U.S.? Like, he had a blood pressure pill that was $65. Why? Here, the same pill is like $20 for the same, prescription. So if it was a $65 with his union prescription back there, why is it only $20 here? Like, if it's $20, I don't even think it's $20, but I'm using a nice round number. Why? Why the difference? You see things like that, and like you say, the cost of just the plans, it's insane. But you also do have to look at the WHO, how things are rated, because it's just safety. It's your life. Like health insurance and health providers, that's your life.
That's your life.
So put your life into some safe hands. Look at the plans. Look at, whatever you need to look at to make sure you're safe. Make sure that they are reliable, and you ain't going to end up dead somewhere. I'm just saying. Right. So, next question. How will you deal with common obstacles to moving abroad? This could be the visa process, overstay fees, utilities, and bank accounts. How are you going to handle that? How are you going to deal with those obstacles when they come up? Visas, overstay fees. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, overstay fees, I would say, you will deal with them when you leave the country, okay?
Here, but that's not always the case in other countries.
Right. Well, even other countries, I think everybody charges a fee, especially if you're not a citizen.
No, some just don't let you stay.
Oh, okay. Some let you stay?
Yeah, like in Spain, if you stay over the amount you're supposed to be stayed, you literally will be jailed before.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would say to look into the immigration laws, look into the overstays, look into the visa processes, because some visa processes are easy and some are a pain in the butt. If you have to do a visa process and you're in another country that speaks another language, is that visa process available in English, or are you going to have to pay for someone to translate everything for you in English and in that language? So these are all things that you need to look at. They need to see if these are obstacles that you can actually overcome. For you, when it came to the utilities, how did you overcome that?
Well, I had to take my passport with me.
Yeah.
I take my passport with me.
Find somebody to help you.
And once I got going, then I know where to go now for all my utilities. Mm-hmm. But every country, like she was saying, every country has their different rules and regulations and laws, and you just got to figure it out before you get there. Because if you just go out of nowhere, it could be some problems for you.
Yeah. And can you handle, like us? There was obstacles. By no means was anything easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we walked into the first bank and they outright were like, no, you can't have an account here. And we were like, what do you mean? I have lots of money.
They don't care.
Nope. You got some letters?
Yeah,
you know some Dominicans?
Letters.
What's up? And I was like, oh my God. And you just made me wait hours to tell me that? Remember that?
Yeah.
Banco Popular. And I was like, well, the hell with this. Bye. And we went somewhere else. So, yeah, know that there will be obstacles. Know that no matter how many videos you watch, how many times you go to their website, because you know me, I like doing my homework, and I thought I had a hold on there. I thought it was going to be easy breezy, and when we went there, it was a whole different situation. So know that there'll be obstacles, know that you can handle it, and know that you are well equipped to roll with the punches, is basically how I would put that.
And what I liked about our transition is that we had both our landlords help us out a great bit. Okay,
yes.
One helped us to get our account at Banco Santa Cruz. The other one showed me where the water company was, and the other one showed me where the power company was. And once I got everything changed over from her name to my name, I was off and running.
Yes.
And that's the start. If they can get them to help you a little bit, if you can't navigate it on your own, you can get them to help you out. That's a plus for you.
People have been, and I will give that to, like, everybody says, what do you like about the Dominican, things like that. I'll tell you, people really are friendly, and they will help you. They're not very off-put by the fact that an American is coming out here. They embrace it. A lot of them have been in the United States working or living at some point. Some of them that we've come into contact with. He's talking about our first landlord, and she used to work in the U.S. She used to visit the U.S. Her husband is from another country, not the U.S., but they went to the U.S. a lot. And the second, our current landlord, helped a lot with the process because he was already in the company of a real estate agent who was bilingual to help us. He speaks English. And he had a lawyer on board to help us with the process so that we could get everything in English and in Spanish so that we understood what was happening. So, yes, remember, it sounds great when you hear all of us on YouTube, all these people in all these different countries tell you, oh, we lived here, and yeah, we love it, and oh, life is wonderful. But remember that it all comes with obstacles. It was not smooth for anybody. If they tell you that, they a whole lie, not a half, a whole. Because there's always things that are going to get in the way. So the last question, can you come to understand your destination's culture? That's a big one. Because it's important to be immersed in the culture and in the people, or else there'll never be a transition into that culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's married to a Latina. He knows hot temper, speak my mind. We sound like we're yelling, but we're all just having a good time. Like, he would hear me talking and be like, who are you yelling at? I'm like, duh, we're just having a conversation. We're having fun. And he'd be like, oh, I thought you guys were yelling. But, it's little things like that you really have to be immersed in that that culture and that person. How's it been for you? I don't know. I can't speak. I am Latin, so to me it's not that big of a difference. But for you, how is it?
Yeah, you're a hot mess sometimes. But but everybody knows.
But living here, I'm just saying, I'm not Dominican, so.
But even some Dominicans, are hot messes too. A lot of them are. They have a lot of parties on the weekend. They drink. They get that rum in them, and they get wild. They get rowdy, and it's just getting to know where you're going. Getting to know the people, getting to know the culture, and understanding where you are at all times.
Yes, because everything is different. Like here, the first time you come on a Sunday, it's like jarring because in the United States, a Sunday is A Sunday is very home at home, and it's like you're not really doing nothing. You go to church and everything else. But a Sunday for them, here, I'm giving you some so you can have some.
All right.
A Sunday is
Thank you.
laid back in the States, but here it's party. Like everybody goes out on a Sunday. Sunday is when you get to see all your friends that you haven't seen all week because you've been busy working. So on a Sunday, they are drinking like it's nobody's business. And they're hanging out. So like you driving around on a Sunday getting ready to go home and get yourself together and collected for Monday, and the party never ends. So that gets a little bit, not here because here it's very quiet in Santiago where we live, but remember when we were driving from the North Coast, I was like, I could not do this. Like I could not live over by where all these people are just out on the street.
I'm telling you.
Just like with the music blasting, acting like it's a Friday night and it's a Sunday evening. That would annoy the shit out of me. Like
it's 1999.
That's what they do.
Because everybody's off on Sundays.
Yeah.
So they're off on Sundays, family time, parties, everything happens on Sundays. That's why they shutting this bad boy down from 5 to 5, Saturday and Sunday, so people won't be out there late. Because if you caught out there late, it's your butt.
So if you haven't seen the video we did, good.
It's your hind parts.
Good to get us to mention the video that we did, which we were updating the curfew, the how, the why. Yes, that's definitely one of the whys. So yes, immersing yourself into the culture you found has been important.
And also, you got to look at the neighborhood that you're going to be living in, because there's some neighborhoods, they got that music blasting. Okay, I'm telling you.
All the time.
So you got a choice. Either you want the stadium kind of sound when you're trying to sleep, or you have the silence of the lambs. You have to choose between the two.
Wait, can we tell them? Okay, so guys, I got to tell you this because it's funny. So he was outside of Los Jardines one time, our apartment out there. And remember when they were playing the big speakers in the back and you were like, I haven't seen that since like the 80s. And I was like,
right.
That's a thing here. That's like a thing. Latin people, like, he thought he liked he has this little Harman Kardon, Bluetooth speaker. And he's like, oh, my Harman Kardon can bump. I was like, okay, we'll see how it bumps when you see how they bump music out in the DR. And he's like, like, no one can bump music like me. You got out here and you got... Shut up, right?
Not really.
They were screaming that music. You were like, I can't even take how loud this is.
I got sense enough to know.
Shake.
I got sense enough to know. I got 2 studio speakers for my keyboard and my other stuff, and they're 600. They 600 watts per channel.
Yeah, but
I put them both together. That's 1,200 coming
so
at you.
So that is
nice
the type of
loud.
speaker that they put in a car and drive around with it.
It is ridiculous. It shakes the ground. It shakes the trees.
It's how people
and it's ridiculous. And you know what? A lot of people in the States, you guys no longer, and I know I was coming about there too, you no longer have boom box and bunch of speakers in your back trunk. It's a thing here.
Yeah, it still is.
It's definitely a thing. It's like living back in 1999 here, because they got speakers and they blow your chest.
That's part of getting immersed.
Right.
In the culture.
Get used to it if you're going to come here. I'm just telling you. Get used to it, you're going to come here.
Exactly. So those are just some of the things that we'd just like to point out that you might want to really just honestly ask yourself when you want to consider expat life. So take those questions, rewind, play again, and ask yourself the questions. Watch our other video on what to consider, because things are different out here. Watch our thing about, okay, if you're serious, this is what you need to do. Go back. I always say to everybody that asks us questions, go back through our catalog, watch those videos. We have dropped gems.
And take your time and don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out anything, because this is life. We're doing life here. Yeah. If you're going to be here, if you plan on coming here and being here the rest of your life, you got to make sure that you do all the research. I don't care if you got to go on YouTube, look at video, people that's already here. The cost of living, different areas to live in, all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
You got to check all that out before you get out here. Because if you get out here and you're in a rush and you get into a bad spot and you got the boombox hitting you at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I'm going to tell you something. One thing about this country is they don't actually have dinner until later. And then after they have dinner, they party and they go out and they party, or sometimes they stay home and party or have parties in their homes. Okay,
Puerto Ricans,
so
I'm used to it.
and could be it's probably a
It's
Puerto
a
Rican
Latin thing.
It's a Latin thing. Okay, this guy has some real. If you're just gonna live around there, you can't afford to live anywhere else. Get some nice earplugs, okay, because they're gonna be coming at you with all the wattage they can.
Just remember, it's your life, it's your money. Choose wisely. Just know that there's things to consider, but in all seriousness, expat life is amazing. Like, even with all the obstacles, even with all the hurdles, it's fun. It's worth it. No matter where you're at, I don't care.
Right. It's worth getting away from all that drama from the States. I guarantee you. You guys look at how we live, all the videos we got, health insurance and everything else. You guys, you're gonna love it. You get a good spot out here, you get a good realtor, you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Just, you're gonna be so
Choose
happy.
wisely.
Just choose wisely and be excited. Look forward to it.
Yes.
As you look at the video, because you know what? It's a totally different part of life. You're not in that drama stage, but you're somewhere totally different in a different country until a new start.
Yep, I agree.
So, in the meantime, between the time, always remember, life is to be enjoyed.
Yes. Make sure you continue to hit subscribe. We thank you, all of our new subscribers. We've had a ton of you lately.
Yay.
Let's get more on board, because we see those numbers and there's a lot of you looky-loos that still haven't hit subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit notification bells when you'd like to get notified when new videos drop. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like. And thank you to all of our patrons. All the information is always underneath our videos. Hit that little bar, get that drop down information. You'd like to send us an email or anything like that, and we will
See you on the next video. Peace.